What's
Welcome
up?
back to the Hangar. My name is Miguel Navarro, and I'm here with my friend Luke Steinman.
What's up?
We're here to talk baseball, we're here to talk football, different sports. This is my first time ever really doing a podcast like this. I was always looking for someone to do it with, and why
I'm
not
here.
get the guy that knows baseball is better than anyone else, Luke.
Real ball nowhere here. Real
Yeah,
ball
ball
nowhere.
knower. So obviously we're in the middle of MLB free agency, so I think that's just a great place to start. I don't know. What do you think, Luke?
We talk about the signings that already happened. The Blake Snell one. As a Dodgers fan yourself, I don't know, how
So
do you feel
Blake
about that?
Snell, for those of you that don't know, signed a 5-year, $182 million deal, and it wouldn't be a Dodger free agent signing if they didn't put a bunch of deferrals into it. I think that the number changed actually, right? Like,
I don't know what the deferral is.
yeah, I
I
think
just
the
know it's
deferral was
deferred.
50 and they moved it to 60 now. Like, it actually went
Mm,
up, so the Dodgers save a little bit more money.
yeah.
So they go out and do that. As a Dodger fan, I love the move because
Mm,
we just won the World Series and now we signed probably the best left-handed pitcher in the game. But I can understand with you being American or
I
the
hate
anger. So I kind of
it.
want to hear your side of that. What do you think of that?
I hate the deferral money. I don't like it. I don't think it's good for baseball. Other teams, other owners are cheap as fuck, and they will not do that. It just the deferral money, and also they won the World Series last year, and they had so many injuries in starting pitching. Like their starting pitching was horrible at the end of the year. They had Jack Flaherty as their one, and every third playoff game was just throw my bullpen out there, and
Yeah.
they worked. So they got them a World Series. Now they can go out this entire season and have if healthy. It's baseball. You have no idea with starting pitching, especially with Tyler Glass now and everybody else in that pitching staff. But to start the year, you have it's like a 6 man rotation,
Yeah. And
which
I
is
think
which
that's
yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's something the Dodgers like were focusing on from the start. We saw the injuries. We had record number of injuries. That
Mm.
it was like crazy. I would watch being a fan, just kind of the casual fan watching a game. Half the time I didn't even know who was starting the game. I remember a time beginning of the year we had Eliezer Hernandez pitching a game for us, and I'm like,
Mm.
where are we at right now? Where are we at?
Yeah.
So we go
Yeah.
out, get our guy, and knowing the Dodgers, man, apparently they're still in on like Freed and some other starters. I don't think we're gonna end up with any of those guys. But
No.
deferrals, man, you could sign that just opens up the gateway to sign anyone. You can
Yeah.
sign
It just
anyone at any given time, and the Dodgers are
mm,
gonna be in on everyone because they have the money and they're willing to spend
have the
it.
money. And I think another thing about that 6 man rotation is with the entire rotation being so injury and injury riddled, they get injured quick. Last time I don't know when's the last time you finished a full season, but with the 6 man rotation, you're able to get that extra day of rest, and it's perfect for that rotation. And with these teams before, great example, Glass now and Snell and the Rays, they'd have to go out every day and they have to win a 2-1 game, the 1-1 like 1-0 game, like they have to pitch their hearts out. Now they're behind the best offense in baseball. They don't have to be so stressed so much. I
It's true.
think towards the end of the year, I think it really helped Jack Flaherty too. Like not being like I have to go out there and dominate to win. Like okay, I have to not give up 7 runs and I'm fine. So
And I think with a lot of our arms coming back from injury, kind of like you said, giving them that extra day. Like Shohei Ohtani's another guy too. Like we haven't seen this guy pitch in over a year. You don't know how his
mm-hmm.
arm's gonna respond. Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, like these guys haven't been on a major league mound in a while. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I think it's a good move. The thing that does kind of like leave me a little curious is obviously we deal with so many injuries and we're kind of signing a guy that's dealt with injuries of his own. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
see how that plays out. But the way I see it is like, man, karma cannot hit us bad 2 years in a row and like half our rotations out again. Like there's no way that can happen 2 years in a row.
Like
I don't
even
want, I'm gonna knock on
yeah.
wood.
I mean baseball injuries are nuts, but it does not happen like that. And the crazy thing is that doesn't happen. You don't win a World Series off that. You don't continue just to go so far into the playoffs and dominate like you do. Like it's just unheard of. I mean, even like you said, like Snell's injuries, the 2 years he pitches over 180 innings or something like that, he wins Cy Youngs. Like,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
yeah, I mean
Just kind
the
of read you
way,
off some stats right here, bro. In 104 innings, Blake Snell struck out 145 guys. Like this guy's got crazy strikeout stuff. And then this
mm,
is something I also wanted to add. I saw it with Glasnow last year. I think you can kind of compare the way Glasnow and Snell pitch. Like they're both
mm-hmm,
like they throw the ball hard, got wipeout stuff, but they walk a lot of guys. They
Yeah.
don't necessarily pitch a lot of innings and they strike a lot of guys out. Tyler
Mhm.
Glasnow had the best walk rate of his career last year, so I think that's something the Dodgers could tap into with Snell, and I think
Mhm.
that'll like enhance him to be a better pitcher for sure.
Especially Snell. Like, I don't know if you remember the interview after he had that no hitter. I think it was like it was, I don't know if it was no hitter, right? You get like Snell like no hitter.
The
After
one last
that,
year?
yeah. After
Right.
that, he was like, well, he was calling out like, oh, I can't go over 5 innings because that's a big knock on him. Is like, cool, you're good at pitching, but you can only go 5 innings and you walk a million players. But I think he took it to heart last year. I mean, obviously it's really a slow start, no spring training, but after that second half, like his second half numbers were nuts. He was pitching deep into games. Like even the end of the year, like he was going like I think his last two starts, he went 6 innings, 10 strikeouts plus in both of them.
That's crazy.
He is there. Like he could have pitched a lot more innings to end that year. So, dude,
Crazy.
it's gonna be such a good pitching staff. And then not only do that, they get the Edmund. They get him a great signing with him, like
Right.
a great extension. Like
The
it's a
dot, yeah,
perfect
they're
contract.
spending
It's a
money,
perfect thing for the Dodgers.
putting them in the right places, putting guys in the right situations, I think. And then
Mm-hmm.
you hear all these guys talking, like obviously we're trying to stay as neutral as possible, but like right now the Dodgers are the only teams kind of making these big moves. All the
Oh
players just
wait! The Angels, the
oh
Angels
the
are making some
Angel,
big players.
they're crosstown rival right
They
there.
already spent 100 million,
Travis
dude. They already spent,
Darno. I
dude.
don't
They
think
spent
we're gonna
100
like the
million,
Angels very much on this show, bro.
dude. Yusei Sakuchi is gonna be a Cy Young this year. I swear, he's gonna be a Cy Young candidate.
That's
But again, talk about Tommy Edmond. It's just a perfect Dodgers thing to give him that extension because he doesn't need a hit. Because not only because he plays insane defense at two like the biggest positions at shortstop and center field, it gives him flexibility. And again, he doesn't have to hit. He's like a career like middle like 90, 100 WRC plus. Like that's what he does year after year, and he gets to like
yeah.
3, 4 WAR because he just plays such good defense and is just so consistent. Like he's here he's there. He's just not banged up. He's there.
And if that bat wakes up the way it did in the playoffs,
At the
like it,
NLC
yeah, all
NLCS,
he's
you
got to
win
do
that.
is coast the regular season, and that's all the Dodgers really got to think about. Coast the
Mm-hmm.
regular season, turn it on maybe September, and they're ready to go for October.
And it
Yeah,
gives them flexibility for adding players. Like I know we're gonna talk about free agents later, but with like example like Willie Thomas, like he can play shortstop and Tommy Edman can play center. Like he can go wherever the Dodgers need. Like if they're gonna go out and get a guy like a great center fielder, they can go do that. They can put him at short.
yeah.
They want to go get a great shortstop, they can put him at center. Like it gives them so many options to work with. And it's the Dodgers, so they're gonna go spend money more. They're gonna spend a lot more money. Like it's
Yeah,
money is not
that's
real to them.
that's a great point. I didn't even I know that the Dodgers have the flexibility, but the way when you describe it that way, like they can go out and sign an outfielder, they can sign an infielder, they can literally do whatever
Whatever
they
they
want.
need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, so do you kind of want to get into the remaining free agents? We obviously got a pretty good baseball player left. Like I don't know, he's
Yeah,
all
we got a
right,
few
right?
good.
He's
Yeah,
all right.
modern day Ted Williams or yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
nothing special. We don't got any, $600 million guys still out on the free agent market, right?
No, we did this at a perfect time because there's still a lot of big free agents left, and
Exactly.
we are getting a few like reports of where people might go. So it's gonna make us. I think it makes it a little easier. I think we start off top of the
Yeah.
top that we're just saying Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. Juan Soto in 2024 for the New York Yankees hit 41 home runs, drove in 109 guys, had an on-base percentage that started with four. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't even got to finish the numbers. Slugging through the roof. Man was pushing a 600 slugging. Like his OPS was almost 1,000. This guy is playing a video game out there. He's
ridiculous.
just that much better of a hitter than everyone else. He's the prize of this free agency class. Where do you think he's going, Luke? Give me what you think. From what you've seen, from the reports that are out, the kind of guy you think Juan Soto is. Obviously, we don't know who Juan Soto
Well,
is.
also don't forget to add the Gold Glove.
The Gold Glove, for whatever reason. We
I
all saw
I
him give up that triple in Game 1 of the World Series. That is not a Gold
Gold
Glove.
Glove awards are crazy, but okay. But to answer your question, I think he's one of the Red Sox. I think Red Sox have made it very clear this offseason that they're going to spend a lot of money. They are going to buy in. They have a lot of young talent. I know they were 81 and 81 this year, but they have a lot of talent coming up in the minor leagues. They're going to be a good team. I think they're going to make that big. They're going to make that big splash. I think they're going to go get Juan Soto. They're going to
Soto.
give him as much money as anyone. Maybe not Steve Cohen money, but I also think I'm pretty sure I saw before like Juan Soto like grew up a Red Sox fan or something like that, and I know that their meeting went. I like there was reports that their meeting went well, so I think it's the perfect fit.
I'm in the same boat with you. I posted a video on TikTok about it. I think Juan Soto's going there. And I also didn't know that about him being a Red Sox fan. I think that just stirs the pot. I was saying in the video basically this. I don't know Juan Soto, obviously
Mm,
on a personal level. But if I could kind of get an idea of who he is based on what I see on the field, I don't think Juan Soto gives a damn about like loyalty or winning or like I think he just wants to go somewhere where he can make the most money and he has the
mm,
freedom to Soto shuffle on pictures and he just
yeah.
wants to do his thing. I don't think
Well,
Juan Soto has like that. I don't think he's kind of that teammate the way that we see about Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. Like he's kind of his own guy. Like I don't think he's a leader in my
he's more.
opinion.
I think he's more. Wants whatever is gonna make him the most successful moving forward. I think as well because I know there's reports coming out of like when he's talking to teams, he's asking them about their future. He's asking about who they're gonna get, like their facilities and like important stuff because he's gonna sign a 15, not
Right.
15 years, but like 10, 11, 12 year contract. It's gonna be on this team for a while. So he wants to make sure that they're moving in the right direction. I think the Red Sox are one of the pillars of baseball. They
Yeah.
have money, they have good people coming up right now, and their owner is willing to. The owner has the money to always spend money. I don't know, they got cheap the past few years, but I think that's a good position for him for his career moving forward. And I think he knows that too. So I
Yeah,
think.
and I love what the Red Sox are building. I think that they
Mm-hmm.
have like so they have some guys mixed in with some older guys that like we got Wilyer Abreu, that guy looked really good,
He looks
and they
really
still
good.
got Devers, Connor Wong had a pretty solid year. Like they got guys out there
Mm-hmm.
and throw in Soto,
Don't even forget the Tristan Casas. He was hurt most of the
Tristan
year, but
Casas, and he was amazing at the end of the season.
end of the season before, like he was going off. I think he had like the second half of not this year, that was 23. I think he had like over batting over 300. Like he was putting up like crazy stats, but he got hurt to start the year. So he's an interesting piece in that team too. Obviously, like Devers. They have a lot of people. They have like a lot of good crops of people coming up. I forget what their Rafaela is that the name the center fielder that they
Yep.
have.
Yeah, right.
He
They
looked
they
real
got
good
some
last
guys
year.
that I caught a game of them and I'm like, wow, these guys' stats are pretty damn good. Just kind of looking at them. I've never seen most of these guys play, but if you
Mm,
really dig into deep into them, most of these guys are pretty young. So
yeah, they have one of the, I don't know if he's the best prospect in baseball. Maybe he's number two, but they're shortstop. I forget the name off the
they
top of
got
my head, but
Vaughn Grisham, right? That you're talking about?
Long Grisham.
Yeah.
He's mixed in there too.
Oh,
I
we didn't
mean,
even bring up Jaron Duran. Jaron Duran was
oh
an
yeah, of course,
all-star
yeah,
last year. He
Jaron
was
Duran, the
great.
five. He it's like he had a slow second half, but he was an MVP candidate at the All Star break. Like
Right.
he took a huge leap and plays really good defense out there. Like,
This is another thing. Soto's going to sign upwards of 10 years.
mm,
You look at some of these teams. Are the Yankees really going to be that good in 10 years? Are they set up for the next 5, 6 years? Are the
yeah, but
Mets really set up that well for the next 5, 6 years? I think out of all the teams, besides the Dodgers are obviously in the mix, but I don't think the Dodgers are going to go on and spend this kind of money again.
mm,
But I think the Red Sox, out of the Blue Jays, Yankees, and Mets, they're the best setup team for the next 5, 6 years.
yeah, a great point of that is all Blue Jays. They're on the verge of a collapse.
Yeah.
They're
I
like if
don't
they don't make
get
the playoffs,
them.
if they don't make the playoffs this year,
Yeah.
they're like torching the whole thing because everybody they have is about to lose the contract. They're so old. Like their window's closed.
That's why they're such a
So
confusing team. But this is a team that we were talking about at the deadline. Or is Vlad going to get traded? Is Bo Bichette going
mm,
to get traded? Now we're in the offseason and we're looking at them trying to get Soto. Like, it doesn't make sense. And no one wants to play in Toronto. Can we just like get that out of the way? Can these guys stop trying
mm.
to sign Otani and Juan
Well,
Soto like they're going to get them?
they offered Otani 700 million.
But that's the thing. If Otani has to pick between Canada or LA, he's picking LA every
Well, yeah,
single
of course,
time.
but it's like the Giants saying they're gonna offer the
Yeah.
big money
But
contracts.
they
Like
did get Arson
nobody wants to
Judge.
go
So
there.
we got to give the Giants some
They
credit.
did
They
got some
got
judge.
Arson Judge.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Cause I feel like we could talk about Juan Soto for like an hour.
No, we can talk about Juan Soto. We can make a whole video about that guy. That's how good he is.
Just ones. Okay,
But there's a
next
lot of
one.
great pictures that I think we should cover right now.
Yeah, first one right here. Corbin Burns. He's gonna go
Corbin
for
Burns,
200. He's gonna go for 200 million. He's gonna
200 mil.
go.
How old
I
is he?
think.
Let me look that up.
I think he.
But let's look at some of these
He's maybe
signings right now.
28. 30-ish, around that, I
30 years
think.
old.
30,
But
yeah.
let's look. Frankie Montas and Matthew Boyd are these guys like they're getting like $17 million a year.
Yeah, that is.
How the pitching market is so inflated right now. When you get a guy like Corbin Burns, he's gonna get big boy money.
Yeah, Frankie Montas has pitched over 4 ERA the past 2 years. Like he's getting $17 million a year. Like unreal, unreal.
Do you
Matthew
think
Boyd
Burns
pitched
is gonna get
well.
more than Snell AAV, or
Uh,
do you think it'll be more of like a long-term contract for
I
him?
think he's gonna get a longer term contract, but I also think he's gonna get more money.
Yeah,
I think he's in his 30s. He's probably gonna get like a 6 year deal, upwards of 200 plus million. He's
yeah,
so good,
he's amazing.
and I wish I wish he would stay with the Orioles. I wish, but I don't know what the ownership group is because I know they have more money, but I don't think they're gonna pan
Okay, so
out
we could kind
for
of talk about some of the teams that are in the mix. We obviously got the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are a team that's going to be in on everyone. I think they want to
everybody.
win. They're ready to win. They're ready to spend money most of all because they haven't spent money in a very long time. They let
No,
some key, like they were willing to let Mookie Betts go. They were willing to let Xander Bogaerts go. Like these are big names that they were willing to just not pay at all. So
I
I
don't really
think
knock
that
him for the Xander Bogarts one. No,
no, I guess it kind of
no
worked out because he has not played very well in San Diego.
hasn't played well. He's getting older, and they have like the I told you like the second rated prospect. Okay, I was like that guy.
We got the
Mets
Mets. They're
Mets are too big on them too. They have unlimited money, and especially if they don't sign Juan Soto, they're gonna go out and like
You think the Orioles are still in on him? I don't really haven't heard much about
I
them. They're like
well
quiet.
because they're like a small market team, but they just got the new ownership group this season,
Right.
and they have a lot of money, but also you don't know like how much are they willing to spend. Does signing Corbin Burns line up with their what they're gonna do in the future? Because right now they have Gunner for 4 years left. They have Adley for three, and who knows if they're gonna resign those people. So, and he's gonna want a big contract, lots of years. So I don't think Orioles will keep up with them. But I
What
think
about the
like
Braves?
I don't. That's not. I don't think that's a Braves contract. Braves are gonna sign somebody
Yeah.
for cheap because if they're not gonna resign Max Fried, they're not gonna go spend more for Corbin Burns. They're gonna they already have a good like and they already have a good like five people I think
Can I
rotation
tell you
wise.
something, bro?
Hmm.
You want to know my dream spot for Corbin Burns? It's
Dream
never gonna
spot.
happen.
Never gonna have him.
Give Corbin Burns, get him out there, throw him on with, throw him out on the mound in a playoff series with Jared Jones and Paul Skeens. That would be like that
The Pirates are
rotation.
never
They
spending
will
money
not,
ever
but like why? Their team
because they're the
is
Pirates.
good and they could build a superstar rotation.
It's because this is you as a Dodgers fan not understanding that
I
like
know, I
own
know.
there you are like the unique situation, one of the like five unique like where they're willing to spend that much money. Pirates, they didn't re-sign Garrett Cole. They're not going to re-sign Paul Skeens.
I think it'd
They're
just be a dream to see Paul Skeens and Corbin Burns out there in a 1-2
That's not going to
punch.
happen. And Skeens, I'm not Skeens. Corbin Burns won't do that either. I think the teams are the Red Sox, the Mets, Giants. What other
Giants, yeah.
team? I think
Why would
I'm
Texas not want to go after him too? Aren't they gonna
they
lose?
I
They're gonna
don't
lose a lot of guys, man.
they're going to lose a lot of guys, but I don't think it matters because I think he's going to be a New York Met. I don't
New York Met,
I think
you're
they're
set
going
on
to
that?
spend so much money, and I don't think they're going to get. I don't. It's either they're going to get Soto and get nobody else, or they're going to get a few guys. And I suspect, like we already picked, the Red Sox are going to get him. So I think Corbin Burns, next biggest free agent, Steve Cohen's going to throw a lot of money at him. They're in New York. They want a big time ace out there to sell tickets to roll out there and just win you a playoff game every single time he's out there. And I think Corbin Burns can do that for them.
This is my thought process though with a lot of these teams that aren't in on Soto. The
Mm-hmm.
Mets, the Red Sox, like these are teams that are they're not moving anything. They're not doing
Mm-hmm.
anything big until Soto decides where he wants to go. So
Mm-hmm.
this is like a chance for one of those other teams to like swoop in and get Corbin Burns. Like if the Orioles really wanted Corbin Burns, they can get
Mm-hmm.
him because I don't think that the Mets and Red Sox are really that aggressive right now.
No, because as soon as they hear that the Orioles are going to give that to them, they're like, all right, we're gonna price you out. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's because Corbin Burns is going to see the offer and be like, okay, I'm going to go tell New York that, and then New York's be like, okay, whatever. Like,
True.
uh, where do you think is going to go?
I hate to like say the same answer as you twice, but I think he's gonna go to the Mets. I think he just
I,
makes too much sense. I think the Mets are gonna miss out on Soto, but the Mets just prove that they don't. Their offense was good enough to make it to Game 6 of the NLCS. I think the main thing for them was their pitching,
mm,
bullpen, and rotation. I think if they just spent a
yeah.
lot of money there and ran back at least 80-90% of that same offense. And another thing is they got to focus on a first baseman. They don't have a first baseman right now.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I think I agree with the idea like you could get Juan Soto, that's great, and he's obviously like an insane player. But I think if you spend that same money and you go get two, three other players, like
I agree
that
with
makes your
that.
team a lot
Yep.
better, I feel like overall. And a crazy thing about the Mets is this wasn't their year. This was a year to reload, and then next year's supposed to be the year because they're calling up. They got prospects. That was their message after the 23 season. It was like, hey, like or whatever was the mid season or end season, like, hey guys, like these next 2 years we're just gonna roll over, whatever, blah blah blah. Like 2025 is our year to like actually go target. And then they had a great year like this to end the year, like like that stretch since July, like being like the best. I don't know if it's the best rated like wins losses, but whatever. They end of the year great, and then getting to the NLCS like
Grimace.
greatness, dude, greatness. And yeah, I think they're gonna get Corbin Burns. They don't really need to add too much to that offense. I feel like okay.
Right.
And also another thing, they had a lot of injuries. Brandon Nimmo at the end of the year was not good. He was injured. Jeff McNeil was hurt. What's their catcher? Alvarez was
Alvarez.
he didn't have a great year either. Brett Beatty, he like who is he to that team? He has done nothing for them.
Wait, that guy fell off the face of the earth. And there were some bright
Dude,
spots though. Mark Vientos,
Mark
that
Vientos.
guy's a stud. And Francisco Lindor, I think, took a step forward this year. I think
Yeah,
he looked like a true leader. Like he was every time they needed a big hit, just felt like he
dude,
was
every time
always
he was
there.
up. And also, you know what's crazy? Not an all-star.
All those games, all like the voting, even the voting's becoming pretty bad.
Yeah, how was he not an all-star? I don't. Next free agent, another pitcher, Max Fried from the Braves. What
Max
do you think?
Fried from the Braves. Here we go. So some of the teams we obviously got. I think the Braves are still in on him. This is a
Mm,
homegrown guy. They're not gonna want to lose a fan favorite for sure. I think the Boston Red Sox are in that mix again, and I think the New York Mets are probably in that mix as well if Corbin Burns doesn't end up
mm.
working out. So,
I
what do
also
you
think
think
a
he's
team
going?
like I think a team like the
The
Cubs
Cubs.
are could be interested too.
The
I
thing
know
with
they.
Freed is like, I don't know. He's 30, the same as Burns. Is he gonna demand that same kind of years as well? 6, 7, maybe years,
I don't know. I think it's probably like a 5 year deal. I think
5 year deal.
five-ish year deal. I think
Five
it's
in
gonna
like the
be.
150, 160 range. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it'll be a little. It'll be like full. It'll be less than Snell for sure.
I think Freed though, I think something that he brings to the table is he obviously struggled this year with it, but I think he's a big game pitcher. I feel like he's pitched
Mm,
a lot of big games, and I think that's like I don't maybe like it's not something that teams actually value, but if I'm like a fan and we're bringing in a new ace, I want a
mm-hmm.
guy that's been there, done that before. So I
100%.
think Max Fried he brings that, and he's obviously amazing in the regular season, but it also feels like at times he can go to that second gear in October.
100%. I also think he is consistent. He's gonna give you a bunch of innings. He's gonna give you 150 plus every year, which is something you need for pitching. And it's something that's not very common. It's hard to get pitchers to go
Oh yeah, he'll eat
be
innings.
healthy.
He's
It's
very
like
consistent.
yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he dealt with some injuries last year, though, right?
I think he dealt with some, but for like most of his career, he's been out there like almost every start. I don't know the stats in front of me exactly for all the stats, but I know he puts up like 150 innings almost every year, which is
I mean,
what you
that's
need.
that's valuable in its own right. He actually did
Oh,
pitch 29 games last year, so he
mhm.
probably missed a couple, but nothing crazy. He still was out
Yeah.
there a good amount.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I
this guy's pitched pretty solid.
yeah, you're paying for I don't think he's a top flight guy, but he's gonna be a good like B ish. Like he's a great two. He's a great two, okay one. I feel
Okay,
like that
one.
one B2 range, and he's gonna give you consistent innings. He's he's good. So I
The
think
Cubs.
I think a Cubs our team could be interested like that because I know they want to spend money and they already have like good pitchers already in that rotation. I know they want to build off that. But I don't.
Could you see a team like the Orioles being in if they
I
miss
could
out
see a
on Burns?
team. I think that's a good team too. I think he fits more their window of what they want to do, and I think they're they want to they're going to spend more money this offseason than they do because they have a new ownership group. But I don't know if they're going to be able to reach the top guy. So I think a guy like Max Fried is going to fit
He's almost
perfect
like
right
that
there.
B tier free agent. Like he's right below all the top guys, but he's also
Hmm.
like if your off season's looking like Max Fried is one of the better guys you get, it's still pretty damn good off season.
Yeah, you're still going to walk away with a good offseason
This is
feeling
my
good about
question
your
to you
team.
though. There's a lot
Hmm.
of like these teams that don't really have full rotations and they're in between playoffs or not. Like what's like a team like the Giants or like a team like I don't know, maybe like the Nationals. Like can you see any of these teams throwing money at them? Maybe the Reds? I don't know.
I don't see the Nationals or Reds really spending a lot of money for a guy. I think Reds already got what they got with Brady Singer. I think they feel good about the rotation. They dealt with a lot of injuries last year, so I don't see a team like the Reds, but I do see a team like the Giants because like every offseason they're like, oh, reports are coming out for the biggest guy. They're coming out for Arson Judge. They're going for Juan Soto, like Corbin Burns. Like they want a top flight guy, but they're so mid. They're just the Giants are mid right now as a franchise. Like it sucks because I didn't grow up as a Giants fan, but like one of my favorite players growing up was like Buster Posey.
Buster Posey.
I love those 2010s like Giants
Yeah, they had
teams.
great runs.
But I don't know. They speaking of Buster Posey, he's actually in front. He's actually in charge of baseball operations over
He
there.
did say something like about wanting to bring back that winning culture and,
Hmm.
spending.
And I could see a team like the Giants going out and spending a ridiculous amount of money on like a Max Tree. Like other teams are gonna offer like what you said like around 120, 140 ish.
Right.
But I could see like the team like the Giants would be like, all right, I'm gonna go spend this to like give the same contract as like Blake Snell. Like I wouldn't be surprised by that. Like so I think a team like the Giants could one of the underrated under the radar teams.
Before we shift gears a little bit here, where do you think he's going?
I don't.
You got to
He just
predict.
I know it's just to predict, but it's just like it's so weird because like I feel like he could totally be a Red Sox, totally be a Met, but I don't know. I feel like he could be a Red Sox. I feel like
Yeah.
the Red Sox are going to spend $1 billion this offseason. Not really, but I don't know. You know what? This is one that confuses me because I feel like I like the Orioles too. I like the Orioles. I like the Giants.
I'm going to go
You know
out on
what?
a limb. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I think you're gonna say Orioles too.
No, I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I think he's going back to Atlanta.
You think he'll go back to
I
Atlanta?
think I
I don't
think
see
he's just
them.
been a part of those teams. I feel like Atlanta, why not? You're gonna get Acuna back, your team's gonna get be back. You guys just won the World Series 3 years ago. Why are you just gonna let this guy go? And it doesn't seem like they're in on any other starting pitching.
Mhm.
Why not bring back a nasty 1-2 of
I think they
Freed,
100%.
Sale, and then Strider's coming back as well, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that could be one top rotation in baseball.
I think they need him there too because like Chris, depending on Strider and Sale for pitching a full season is not something I would want to put all my eggs in the basket in.
Yeah.
Like if you get $100, you say I'm gonna bet $100 on them pitching the whole season. I'd be like, ooh, there's a good chance you could lose that money. So like I don't know. I could see them, but I think in my mind I think they're gonna go to the Orioles. I think Orioles are gonna go out spend money, but Orioles money like I
Yeah.
was saying earlier, not like
You
top
think that a
echelon,
lot of
but
these teams will try to use deferrals now?
I don't know. I
Is
don't
that a
think I
Dodger
don't.
thing?
That's
Okay.
what the Dodgers. The Dodgers have the money. Dodgers have the money, and they can afford that risk just because they make so much money, and especially now, like they just like tapping into foreign markets. They just Dodgers are becoming such a gigantic brand all over the world. Like I don't. No teams are doing that. Like so I think this is the first thing you and me disagree on, or I think you think
Yeah,
Braves.
finally, dude. It's about time. So
There we go.
we've already covered Tommy Edman, we've covered Blake Snell, and we predicted Soto, Burns, Freed. But I want to move to the left side of the infield, and I want to cover two guys. We'll start with one right now, obviously. Let's talk Willie Adames. Where's he going, man? What's up with Willie?
Okay, first I want to appreciate how good Willie Adames is as a
Willie
player.
Adames.
Because I feel like no, he's not a big no one household name. If you walk down the street and you ask, like, if you went to a baseball game and asked somebody tell me about Willie Adames, like,
Yeah.
they're gonna unless they're like you or me, like they're gonna take a fan like he plays incredible defense at short. He hits bombs. He hits. good average WRC player. He is a great player. He's just a good player. He's a good all-around baseball player, and he's gonna get a lot of money. I feel like,
Big time.
and I feel like again, like I see him going to the Dodgers.
You don't
I don't see him
really.
going to any other team to going but the Dodgers.
Well,
Dodgers,
I know Atlanta's in the mix. I think
mm-hmm.
Milwaukee's pretty much out, right? I don't think he's going
They
back. They
don't.
don't
They're
spend
yeah.
money.
They don't spend money.
I mean, like, what's a team that can use like he's also said he's willing to move positions, so we could be looking at a third baseman, Willie Adames.
But I
Could
don't.
like a team like the Yankees possibly be on him? Maybe Soto leaves, they need a third baseman. Jazz wasn't really that great defensively
But
there.
I don't see them moving Volpe or Adames to a different position.
Really?
I
Okay.
don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for them. Willie Adames he plays too good a shortstop to move positions. It wouldn't make sense. There's no reason to take him a third.
This is what I think. There's just so many good free agents. I feel like a random team that we're not gonna expect is gonna give one of these guys money. That's how many good free agents we have. Like obviously, and pretty much every guy we've covered. It's been the Mets, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Dodgers, whoever. But like, what's stopping some of these other teams from giving Willie Adames some money? You know, like what's stopping? Let me just kind of go off a list here. Like, let's say the Cardinals trade Arenado. What's stopping them from giving Adames some money? You know what I mean?
No, so the new GM they got was the GM of the Red Sox a few years ago, and he completely tore down that team and rebuilt it. Like he's the reason why the Red Sox have a lot of good prospects because of him. Yeah. They're an old aging team. They're not going for it. They're not going for it.
I know. I just have a little bit of hope. I think baseball's better when the Cardinals are good.
Yeah, they've been good or like a playoff team level our entire lives. Like we've never known a bad Cardinals team. And they're about to be. Well, not bad to be, but they're starting to rebuild. And
some interesting teams I see though, like let's say Houston misses out on Bregman, who I want to cover after this. Like, could they give him money? I just feel like someone that we're not expecting has got to do something. There's no way.
That's baseball though. Those top echelon players go to top echelon teams. And the Bregman thing, I think Bregman's going to be less than I think it's honestly going to cost more. I feel like so. I think
Bregman will cost more. You think?
No, I think Adames will cost more than Bregman. So I don't think him going to Houston. But again, dude, the Dodgers they want a shortstop. They want to win a million rings.
I don't see it.
They can defer money all they want, and they've been deferring money so they can take on a bigger part of this contract for this year. They don't have to defer all of it.
That's true. I mean, there's another thing I'm kind of thinking about too. I'm not to just keep throwing teams out there because like I don't want to get on a tangent, but I just want some of these teams to realize like Willie Adames is a damn good baseball player, and he's not like that upper echelon superstar. So you're not he's gonna get paid obviously, but he's not gonna get paid Juan Soto money. Like the Blue Jays, they're talking about spending money. What they don't like? Why not throw him at third base? Why what's stopping these teams?
Again, I just don't see him going to anywhere but then playing a shortstop. I just don't. I know he says that.
You don't think so? I think he's gonna
No, I don't think. I don't know because he plays really good defense at short. Like
I just think that there's more of a demand for third baseman right now.
Yeah, the MLB is short right now. It's like good third baseman, but I just don't see him making that move.
So the Dodgers for you.
Dodgers 100%.
Okay, let me just. I don't know what to pick.
Again, like you keep talking about these smaller teams. I think they will. I think some teams like some smaller market teams will make some splashes, but I think for like lower guys we'll talk about later, not like these top guys. I don't think.
I think I'm just gonna say. I think I'm gonna go with the Braves. I think the Braves will end up with him too.
Braves. That's not a bad.
I think they're willing to spend money right now. Like I think that they're quiet. There's gonna be a team that's gonna be sneaky quiet, and they're gonna come out of nowhere. And I think it's the Braves. They're gonna re-sign Fried. They're gonna get Adames, and then you're looking at an infield of Austin Riley, Willie Adames, Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson. Like that's disgusting.
Yeah,
then Acuna's coming back. Strider's coming back. Why not go try it and win the whole damn thing?
I like it. I don't know how the financials work. I don't know Braves financial off the top of my head, but
I feel like they're a team that's willing to spend. They have so many team-friendly contracts.
Well, I'm not saying you're right because they have like Acuna's contract. If you pull that up,
it's ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Like that. I forget the GM's name off the top of my head. He has done a great. He's like the best.
He's good at his job.
He's like one of the, if not the best GM. He really does. You want to talk about Alex Bregman next?
Alex Bregman's next. I'm just I feel like we get into it a lot. I'm just gonna give it set in stone where he's going. He's gonna be the new third baseman for the Detroit Tigers because it just makes too much sense.
Detroit Tigers.
AJ Hinches is the manager.
Mm-hmm.
They really, if you watch their playoff run, they were missing a bat.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bregman's won his championships. He wants his money now. Detroit's gonna give it to him. He's gonna go play great third base there, and the Tigers are gonna be back in the playoffs.
I I like the Tigers idea. I like the Tigers, but I think they're gonna pay somebody else big money. I don't think they're gonna pay Bregman, but I do like that though. I think New York Yankees can go out there and just
Think
they
so?
I think Bregman is a Yankees guy. Like they're gonna go get him.
How do you think the
That's their
fans
guy.
will take him in though? That's something
That's
to
the
think
thing.
about.
Yeah, but once he starts producing and is just Alex Bregman for them, they'll be okay, and then it doesn't matter as much. Like I feel like you can hit a guy as much as you want, but as soon as he starts playing well for your team, you're gonna stop talking real quick. I feel like
I
Yankees
like
are a
that.
good team. They have reports that like the Mariners are gonna go get them, but Mariners aren't gonna go spend money.
Yeah. Does it
I
make you
I,
sad
I
that we go
hate.
through these free agents and you can't pick your team?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't pick a single. Like, if you don't spend a single free agent over like $8 million, that would be surprised if you spend more than $8 million on a free agent. But
I think Houston will still be in the mix for sure. Like
he'll still be
that's
in the
their
mix.
guy.
But
I don't know.
I think they'll be priced out a little bit because they're on some budget crunches. They have some guys they're gonna have to pay in
Yeah.
a year, like after the season. Like um, what is Framber Valdez is gonna be a free agent. Kyle Tucker's about to be a free agent. They have some guys on that book. Jordan Alvarez are about to be a free agent. Like they have some guys in the next year or two that are gonna have to spend a lot of money for. And an aging Bregman, I don't think is what they want to spend their money on. Especially, I forget the prospect's name, but whoever it was came at the end of the year. He played decently well for them. Like obviously, he's not gonna be like a Bregman replacement, but he's gonna be a pretty
I
good
think
player for
is
them.
it no, I don't think it's him.
I don't remember his name off
Can't
the top of my
remember his
head.
name.
I just know of him. Like I know he played decently well at the end of the year. But I feel like Yankees. I don't think Yankees are gonna go get Juan Soto. I think they're gonna try their best, but they're not gonna be able to. We didn't even talk about the Yankees for Juan Soto. I don't know how we if
That's
that's true.
true, but I think it's just that they're just not doing enough, man. Like I don't feel like they're gonna want to outspend. They have too much money on the books. They're not
I
gonna.
think
They're
yeah.
gonna try to go into this like Soto, take the little bit more of a team friendly deal because you were just here. We just made the World Series. Let's go win. But like I think we kind of covered. I think we can explain it. Is that I don't think Juan Soto cares. I think Juan Soto just wants to get paid. So I don't think he's
Wants to
going
get
back.
paid. I think he would like to be with the if the Yankees gave them the money. I think he
Yeah.
would choose the Yankees, but they're
It's crazy that we're in a
that's
world
the
where
rest.
we're saying that the Yankees will not spend the money needed.
Well, I don't think it's that they don't have the money available. I think they have so much already tied up and with like Judge and
Yeah,
money adds with
very
like
cool.
Cole like that like money
Stanton.
adds up quick. Stanton like
It's crazy.
money adds up quick in baseball. So I think Alex Bregman's gonna. I think they're gonna go address the corners this offseason. I think they're gonna get Bregman, and then another guy I want to talk about who I think is a top echelon prospect. That's kind or not prospect, but free agent that kind of is under the radar ish, I guess, to like a casual fan. Christian Walker. I think he is
Christian
an
Walker.
amazing first baseman. He plays gold glove level defense. He's gonna hit you 30 bombs. He he's just a really good player, and I think that is just the perfect Yankees signing. I think they're gonna go get him. What do you think about him?
The Yankees,
Or just like Christian Walker in general? Like what do
dude,
you
and this is really bothering me. I made a video on TikTok picking where he's gonna go. I need to find it. You need to entertain the people, Luke. Entertain
and
the
then the
people.
people
Entertain the people, because this is gonna eat me. This is probably very unprofessional, but it needs to be done, dude.
we could if you want we can just cut this out. We can do
Yeah, I
this
know, dude. This is
or
horrible.
whatever.
Oh, you're actually gonna like my answer.
Mhm. What's the
Christian
answer?
Walker is gonna go on a 2-year, $36 million to your Seattle Mariners.
Not happening.
He's gonna the Mariners, please, please. Like I'm looking right at the camera. Mariners, your team is good. You guys have one of the best young rotations in baseball. And your bullpen is amazing. You have one of the best closers in baseball.
Mm.
Can we please stop not spending? All you guys need is some bats. Go give Christian Walker some money. It's only for 2 years. I promise you that if you guys make the playoffs, your money will come back. Please.
John Stan doesn't think that way. John Stan is set in his ways. Okay.
Maybe I'm a little optimistic, but I think he's going there. This guy is a
I
guy that's 30
dude,
home runs and Gold Glove defense. This guy
I
is
wanted to there was two guys at the trade deadline I was hoping we traded for. Christian Walker's one of them, him or Vladdy, which we were talking close, but they wanted a Cole Emerson. I'm not giving a Cole Emerson for literally anybody. But Christian Walker, yeah, I think he is such a good player, and if the Mariners do get him, like I will be jumping for joy, and then he will immediately hit 210 and have 300 strikeouts in the season.
But like, let's look at this lineup though. Like, we can, if you go add Christian Walker, we're talking Julio, we're talking Rosarena, we're talking Cal Raleigh, Christian Walker. I mean, that's four boppers, dude. And we're
Yeah.
not talking about Luke Raley, who's had some pretty under the radar seasons lately.
Mm.
So I mean, like the Mariners don't need to do much. They almost made the playoffs with pretty much no offense. Imagine if they just had one or two guys.
They're not. I wish they're gonna go and get Carlos Santana or
I think you
Justin
know
Turner.
more about this than me. Can you just explain to the people why the Mariners were not like to the average fan? They're like, okay, the Mariners pitch good, their bullpen's good, they have a couple really good players on offense. The only thing they're missing is filling out the rest of that lineup. Why are they not spending the money?
Because John Stanton is a cheap owner. He will not ever spend money. Last season, going into the offseason, he told Jerry DePoto, the Mariners GM, you have this much money to work with. And in like a week or so before offseason, he's like, psych, we are going to cut that by a lot. Because he was told that the budget was going to open up by a lot more than it was. And it was not. And the reason John Stanton does this because because he's all about profit. He wants to make as much money as possible. And Jerry DePoto, I'm a Jerry DePoto fan. He is such a good GM, and he works well with like a budget constraint, and he feels a good enough team to where we're still competitive at the end of the year, but you don't spend much money on other teams, and so it's all about profit. Like filling out the baseball, filling out like T-Mobile Park end of the season, like everybody's excited, like okay, we're gonna make the playoffs, and doing that on a budget, like to make him money, he's gonna do that, and it sucks as a sports fan. I wish we go spend money, go get a Christian Walker, but not gonna happen. I feel like the Yankees are such a good team though. They're gonna spend the money, willing to get him.
So you think the Yankees are getting Walker and Bregman? They're locking up those corners.
Locking up the corners. That was a huge concern for them this year. They moved Jazz over the third. Like Jazz is like second and center.
And then Rizzo and Ben Rice. Like there's so many question marks there.
Rizzo is a free agent right now, and who is he as a player? Who is he here? I don't know who he is as a player. Like,
so I know we're not going to cover this guy, but I like that you have the Yankees adding a first baseman because I think they're going to get Goldschmidt. But
you think they're going to get Goldschmidt?
I think they're getting Goldschmidt. I just want to throw that in there. Is there any other free agents? I think we should talk about Pete if we're going to talk about Walker.
Yeah, talk about first baseman.
Let's get Pete out of the way. I think Pete's going to Arizona. I think Arizona. Come on, Arizona. You guys were just in the World Series. This is what I'm talking about. I think I root so hard. Being a Dodger fan, maybe I'm just like I'm just so completely in like a fantasy world where I think these teams are going to do more than they are. But Arizona was just in the World Series. They're going to lose Christian Walker this offseason. Why not replace Christian Walker with literally the same player, just younger?
I disagree with that. I think Christian Walker is better than Pete Alonso.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's more consistent. I also think, is Christian Walker older or is he younger than Pete Alonso?
He's like 4 years older.
Really?
I think Pete was like 30. Let me double check that.
I don't think. I think Pete
Alonso's 29. And then Christian Walker is 33. So yeah.
Oh shit.
Wow. Arizona though, man. Like, why not? You guys aren't really gonna spend any other money anywhere else. I mean, you guys have a pretty set rotation, you have a pretty set lineup, and maybe you add one or two bullpen arms and Christian Walker. It's a pretty damn good offseason. And if these guys are like serious about winning, they gotta keep up with the NL West. The NL West it's like a rodeo there. You gotta get better every year to want to compete. If the Diamondbacks stay stagnant, and then even if they lose Christian Walker, like I don't know how they expect to win. I think Pete's gonna go there.
I think their offense is good enough though to survive losing Christian Walker. They were the number one run scored, I think, in second in OPS, or flip flop of the Dodgers. Like those two were both like number 1 and 2. Like I think they can afford losing Christian Walker. I don't think they're gonna go out and spend a lot of money on Pete Alonso because I think they're priced out by the New York Mets. I don't think the New York Mets are gonna let Pete Alonso go.
See, this is my theory from earlier. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
I think it was solidified that home run against
Yeah.
Devin Williams. That's the only home run Devin Williams let up with that nasty changeup all year. I think that was the only one. It was the biggest one ever. Like after that home run, like you can't let him. He's such a big part of that team. Like you cannot let him go. Like I don't think there's any way that he's gonna lead that team.
So my thought process with me picking Arizona was that basically is Pete has been talked about leaving New York for about 2 years now. Trade
Mm,
and like everyone was already like this could be Pete's last game in where do they play at? Oh my god, I'm blank. City Field.
mm,
In City Field, it's already kind of like I think all the fans have checked out on Pete. I think the Mets are going to be so caught up on Burns, so caught up on Soto, so caught up on all the other names that my theory about all these like mid-tier teams that could swoop in and take a guy that's kind of just waiting to sign. Look, Pete Alonso is going to have to wait until Soto or any of these guys
mm,
sign if he wants to go back to New York. I think Pete wants to know where he's going to play early. I don't think he wants to find out a
mm,
month before the season starts. And I think Arizona's willing to throw the money if they lose Christian Walker pretty early in this year's offseason. So that was
mm.
my thought process for that. I think Pete might feel a little neglected, you know? This guy's been there, the heart and soul of the team for the last couple years, and now he's kind of have to take the back seat.
Yeah, but I think Pete Alonso is gonna cost more than Christian Walker just because he's younger. I think
Yeah.
Christian Walker's better, but I think if the Diamondbacks don't resign Christian Walker, I don't think there's any way they're gonna go
So who do you
get Pete
have playing
Alonso
first
there.
base for them? You think they maybe bring back Goldie or something? Get a little reunion
I that
there?
was my idea. I think they're gonna go
Yeah,
bring
that's
back
actually a
Goldie. That
smart
was
idea. I like that.
because you said Goldie, and I was like, and you talked about the Diamondbacks. Oh, perfect. I think they're gonna go bring him back because I don't know what he's gonna be like this next year. He's falling off a cliff, but I think that's their way because I don't think they don't need a great first base. They don't need some like insane level first baseman that have a good offense. Like they already had a good offense this
Yeah,
year. They
I
don't.
like that
It's
point you made.
yeah. So I think the money they're gonna need. Like I said, they're gonna sign anybody. They're gonna be Christian Walker. And if they don't resign him, I don't think they're gonna get any big ticket free agent unless they trade for a Goldschmidt.
There it is. So I think we pretty much covered for the majority some of the bigger names. So
Mm-hmm.
something I kind of wanted to end with on our first inaugural episode of what are we calling this? Just Hanger Pod?
The Hanger Pod. I
Hanger
think
Pod with Luke and Miguel. I like that. We get our both of us in here.
perfect,
But
perfect.
I want to talk about the report that came out of Rob Manfred apparently wanting to add a golden rule. And before I kind of ask you your thoughts on it, I want to say that if Rob Manfred, the fact that he even thought this would be a good idea is crazy to me as a commissioner. But if they actually implement this, I might have a hard time watching baseball.
Mm.
So what do you think about that?
I hate it so much. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think everyone in baseball, there's not one person that's like, we should do this. Like, if it is, it's not real. You're not like a real baseball fan or anything, like really caring about the sport because it is so dumb and it ruins baseball. Like, I know they want to add more offense because more offense, brings more people to watch, but it's just not baseball.
It's
Like,
not
I
baseball.
thought I saw a thing that was like, technically, if that's ever a thing, like example Dodgers, they could be bases loaded, no outs. Let's say Otani's up and like he strikes out, you could bring up Otani again right after that.
That's just so
It's
dumb.
like it's so ridiculous, and I don't like it. I don't
I
I don't
think
like it.
MLB has proven though they don't care about the purists, bro. They don't care about us. They don't care about the people that watch over 100 games a year. They care about bringing in the average viewer that
Mm-hmm.
maybe throws on the World Series at the end of the year. But if they get to see Shohei Ohtani more and they get to post about Shohei Ohtani
Yeah,
more, any chance
I
they'll get to do that, they're gonna want to add it.
I can
So I'm
already see this
scared.
post now. I already see this post now. Like whoever gets that first home run or first
Oh my
big
God.
playoff, the golden boot, like oh look at this, like and
It's
it's
just not
everyone.
baseball.
No, I don't think they're gonna implement it. I hope they don't. Like I don't because anyway, even if they do, it's not gonna be this season because they're gonna have to implement it in the minor series. So
Right.
we'll get some time to know before if it ever happens. But I really hope it doesn't happen. I don't
I
think it.
mean, it'll be very hard to watch baseball. It just, I cannot believe that. This is like, imagine like in basketball when they were doing the hack a Shaqs, bro. Like, imagine they could just be like, all right, Kobe, go take the free throws for Shaq. Like,
Yeah.
that just would be so dumb. Like, that's not basketball. It's a strategy
Mm.
behind it. Like, imagine how managers would have to manage games now, knowing that you can just bring up Shohei Ohtani whenever you want now.
Yeah, just like a one-time thing. Like, all right, best hitter, here we go. Like,
Dude, I can't. I can't. Can I
so
ask you, since we're on the topic of rule change, like I want to ask you your opinion on the robo umps, or not the robo umps.
Oh,
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not
Okay.
baseball. Baseball is a
Finally, I'm so thankful I found someone that shares this opinion because I cannot stand when people are like, we need robo umps, we need robo umps. Part of the
no
game is umpires messing up.
100%. That's part of the game is like dealing with refs
Yes.
or umps and dealing
Yeah.
with that. Like it's a part of the game. It's how it's always been. And like even with robo umps, like if you like there's like times where it catches the plate by like this much, and they call it a
Yeah.
strike because technically across the plate, like it's real dumb, and I just don't like it.
I don't like the challenge stuff. I don't like the robo umps. I don't like the thought of like an umpire just literally standing there to like literally do nothing. Like they could just have an
Mm,
umpire sit like on the sideline and watch the game from there. Like that's
yeah,
what just to call it out. Like it's crazy. That's not baseball. That's not like I don't
no,
know what MLB just loves trying to make baseball not baseball. Like they're
I don't
so
get
in
it.
love with this idea.
Yeah, like if people can be angry about like a big time call being missed, but that's sports in general. Like that's just how sports is like it is, and something we've lived with for our entire lives, and I think it should be continued. I don't.
If they really, really, really have to add something like that, I'm okay with like one or two challenges on a strike a game. Like, okay, fine. If you really, really need to add this to the game, go ahead and do that. Just
Mm,
don't make it where every call is perfect. Like, imagine how boring that'd be. Like, imagine a
yeah.
catcher gets crossed up and just completely catches the ball, like so
Mm-hmm.
weird.
Because then
That might confuse the average fan more. Like, how is
it
that a strike?
it also ruins a part of like as a catcher, like a part of someone's value as a catcher. Like example, Patrick Bailey for the Giants. His entire value is playing insane level defense. Like his like added frame rate or like runs or whatever, whatever the metric is for catchers is insane compared to every other catcher. Like his value is he can frame a ball really well,
Sure.
and that just and then
Dude,
like okay, then like you're up there, but you just catch it, you're just there just to catch it. That's all. No framing, no nothing. Just I'm gonna stand there. Like I
if
don't
a
like it.
robo ump came into baseball, like Martin Maldonado would be forced to retire.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, exactly. I got like him. Like he has no career. I mean, he's not gonna have a career anymore.
he has
But like,
no purpose in the MLB at all.
yeah, defensive catchers are just gone from baseball. Like,
Takes away the strategy, man.
yeah, it's like oh, that ground ball is automatically going to the first baseman. That's now. That should be now every single time, right? So
Yeah.
don't like it.
I mean, is what it is. And baseball is kind of trending in this direction. I think I don't want to believe I don't want to live in a world where this is what baseball is. So I'm hoping that eventually these rules get canceled out before the MLB or something
Hmm.
amazing happens. Because like even the bigger bases and the pickoffs, like I didn't like that stuff either.
I like the pickoff.
You do?
Yeah, because if you watch old games, like they pick off like a million times over there. Like there's
But
that
I
bad
think
feel
that
to
the
it.
addition of the pitch clock kind of sped the game up enough where we're okay with picking off a little more now. I don't know
Mm,
though.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't like doing it a million times. It kind of ruins the game. But that doesn't maybe doesn't ruin the game. But like I don't mind that. That's nothing
See,
crazy.
that's
I
the
don't
thing
think.
though. I'm okay. I can live with that because it's not like it's every single play that it's involved. A robo
Mm,
ump and a golden rule, like that can be in play at
yeah.
any moment and it's stupid.
Mm,
Shouldn't
yeah.
you shouldn't change like the
The core.
the pitcher on the mound, wind up pitch to the batter. Like that should never change. There should be nothing to affect that. Like okay, they
Mm,
pick off whatever. Is what it
yeah.
is. But yeah. So yeah. I mean we don't really got that much time on the Zoom. Do you kind of want to wrap it up right here?
No, I think it's a great first episode we got.
I think that
I
was a
think it's
great first
pretty
episode.
good.
I mean, I think that felt easy. I
I
didn't even
felt
feel
really
like we
like
were
just us
recording.
like just chatting back and forth. Like I didn't really like I like I listen to like watch baseball stuff all the time, so I'm like informed. But like I didn't really do a lot of prep for this. I just like
Yeah,
off the
and I didn't
dome.
either. I think it's also good that there's just so many baseball websites now. It just makes stuff so much easier to like research.
Yeah.
But like I think
Mm,
kind of our knowledge of the game makes it a lot easier to kind of decide some of these teams. I think without looking it up, we were able to understand what teams were involved, why they
mm,
were, why they weren't. Like we
needs
weren't going in there saying the
money.
Miami Marlins were going to sign everyone. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we know a little bit there.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great first episode. I hope we continue this. Got to continue it.
100%.
Football. I think that's got to be our next
Next one, I
episode.
think we could do it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm down. we gotta just keep doing this, and eventually, we get a theme. Maybe we'll have like some theme music one day.
Like an intro and
Trail us
outro
out.
theme
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna do that. And we get the graphics. We'll figure it out, man. It's gonna be great.